Nice to see him. Thank you for the opportunity to respond. When we turned off the highway nearing Houston and started to head up, it was immediately we began to be surveilled. There were trucks all over us. The 4 or 5 vehicles that went in onto the Morice Forest Service Road. They were everywhere. Every significant corner that we turned, every bridge that we crossed, there was RCMP and there was industry side by side. Unmistakable surveillance. We crossed that bridge at the 44-kilometer mark with we were unimpeded across that bridge. We were at that campsite, 2 people into the introductions at that site. And we began to hear the disruption of the truck that was coming across behind us. How is it that our trucks got across that bridge unimpeded? And yet, the very next truck, a couple of minutes later, seconds later, the action started. We witnessed this. 30 guests of the Wedzin Hereditary Chiefs going rafting. The remarkable part of this is that those rafts were waiting for us at a provincial campsite in a provincial park where guests of the province were camping. Somehow they also got across all of those bridges, past all of that surveillance, down that long, dusty, windy road to Wedzin. Somehow they were successfully able to navigate it in a way that the people behind us were not. Indiscriminate was the actions that I saw. It felt like almost to put on a show. You made it through, but we'll show you. And the entire time I was on that, in a vehicle on those roads, I felt there was a show being put on. That's what I talked about earlier with power. It needed to be persistent. It needed to be every minute that we were out there, or else the weakness is exposed. To profile the visitors going rafting that stopped at a camp as protesters, I entirely and totally reject it. And we should all reject it. The RCMP has no business explaining to me who I am and what business I have in this territory at the invitation of the Denizé. I know who I am. I know why I'm here. I know the business that I was undertaking in that day. And it was to enjoy a beautiful part of this world that is under threat by constant erosion by the provincial government institution that I'm a part of, that we're a part of. I came here to bear witness to that, so that when I go back and do my job, which is one of the 87 seats in that place, I can do it with an understanding of what's actually happening on the landscape. So I don't have to bury my head in the sand in there and pretend like everything is okay, because it's not. If you've been in an airplane recently and you've flown over this province, you know it's not okay. If you've been on the Morice Service Road for more than a couple of seconds, you know that what's going on in this province is not okay. If you have any understanding of the Crown-Indigenous relationship that has been evolving in this province of British Columbia for the last 170 years, then you know it's not okay. If you respect the laws that guide this place, then you know that what's happening in these territories is not right. We are here by invitation, doing our job. And if that threatens the RCMP, if that threatens industry, if that threatens Premier Horgan and his team, if that threatens Kevin Falcon and his team, too bad. Because this is our job. We are here to witness, we are here to learn, and we are here to do the things that follow through on the commitments that this government has made to Indigenous leaders in this province. Not play games, not intentionally deflect, not distract, deceive. It is a burden, the work that we have. We will not be called protesters. We witnessed what we witnessed. We saw what we saw. I believe it was intentional for us to see it. Just my feeling. I don't know, but that's what I felt every moment that I was there. We came out of a community dinner to an RCMP truck idling and an industry truck idling, cameras rolling. A community dinner is a threat in the Wets'in territory, apparently. It was delicious. It was salmon. Maybe they didn't get invited. That's what they were angry about. Herring rowan. Our guests, our hosts gave their guests the gold from the ocean, the herring rowan kelp. Thank you for that, by the way. It's delicious. My aunties are going to be quite displeased with me that I didn't bring any home for them. But I just wanted to say these few words because the reality of it is that the media release that goes out frames the entire narrative of what the world sees out there. The fact that they were so easily able to profile the 30 members of that rafting crew as protesters while campers are not, boaters are not, maybe hunters are not, highlights the challenges that we all face together. I just want to acknowledge all of the elders, the matriarchs, the community leaders who spoke throughout this 3 days, two and a bit days. We've seen, we now carry this message back, and I invite the other 85 members of the legislature, if they're invited, to drink from the Wedzin Kwa, to feel the power of that river and the Wedzin Bin, that beautiful lake. Maybe it will open the minds to be able to stand up for those beautiful places in the work that we do every day in the Legislative Assembly. RCMP.